I don't know. Who knows?
She's blushing.
This happened over the weekend, and surely you've heard about this. This happened at the Texas Motor Speedway. There was a man, 42-year-old Kirk Franklin, killed himself, shot himself to death. At the NRA500, the first year that the race was dubbed the NRA500, and this gentleman, apparently there was some kind of altercation between him and some other spectators, and later he was found shot in the back of his truck, shot himself in the back of the truck. And so the question is, I think everyone's curious about the motives. Was he trying to make some kind of statement because this is now the NRA500, or is it just some horrible coincidence that he would?
Do we know what the altercations were about?
No.
None of the spectators knew or came forward?
They said that there was just a verbal altercation, and then he was found later in the backseat of the truck.
Well, they need to interview those witnesses and find out what was said.
What he was saying, yeah, if he was going off about gun propaganda.
My idea was that why he killed himself had nothing to do with being at that speedway.
Right. I think it was just a horrible coincidence.
It's something else going on. It's where you feel your life is hopeless. You have no way out. This is it, and you don't want to be in pain anymore. So I think if he had really wanted to make a statement, he would have done it in front of the crowd, right in the middle of the race.
The fact that he did it there at all, though, I'm just so surprised that people are picking these public forums. I mean, even if it was in his car at a public event. It just seems so awful to expose that many people to your own personal tragedy. I feel like if that's the choice you're going to make.
He's not thinking about that. When a person is suicidal, they're not thinking about other people.
No, it's the most selfish.
It's just such a shame, though, that that's what a lot of people are choosing to do.
Or taking others with them.
Right, exactly.
Would have made it an even greater tragedy. I see what you're saying, but I think you're right, Susie. It's a very selfish and sad.
It's interesting how this happens sometimes with the news. You know, you hear a story like this, and then right on the tail of this is the story about the little 6-year-old Dallas child that accidentally shot himself in the chest. In critical condition, and apparently he got into a car, an unlocked car, and got a hold of someone's gun that was in the car, and played with it, shot himself by accident, and now the 24-year-old man whose car and gun it was, William Ross, was arrested and now charged with injury to a child.
Was he related to the child?
No.
Okay, so it was a friend or an acquaintance or something like that.
He got into a vehicle. It was in the parking lot of Ridge Point Fellowship Church in East Dallas, and he got into a vehicle, found the loaded handgun, and accidentally shot himself in the chest.
Where were the parents when he was running around getting into strange cars?
Yeah. I mean, that's always the first question, right? When you hear of a child that little who gets away and something bad happens.
I have a 5-year-old who gets away, a 5-year-old boy who gets away in 5 seconds flat. I mean, if they're determined, if he saw the gun, he wanted to go play with it or something, they go where they want to go.
All you have to do is turn your head for a second.
Yeah.
Well, so the question was, is it illegal to have your gun in your vehicle if you're not in your vehicle?
Well, if he's got a right to carry permit, he's not doing anything wrong. What is interesting is that the gun was loaded.
Yeah, it has to remain concealed. Let's see.
And put away. Doesn't it have to be kept secured or
this
something
is the most
like
important
that?
thing. It says it has to be secure when you leave your vehicle.
Yes.
You can leave it in your car, but it has to be secure. And they're saying that the glove box or the console is not necessarily secure.
So
you have to actually have it locked up. Yeah.
Really? Okay, I didn't know
So
that.
now, I mean, you know, of course my heart goes out to the child and the child's family, but also this 24-year-old guy who is now, you know, being charged with a horrible crime, and he didn't really do anything wrong.
No, he didn't.
You know, but except for being
But we always
thoughtless.
have to blame somebody.
Yeah.
That's the whole point now. Whatever it is, we have to blame somebody, accuse them, they got to pay, they got to be punished.
But don't you think...
And the interesting thing is, this shooting has not received a whole lot of publicity.
Which one? The NRA500?
I think.
Oh, the NRA.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Oh, it will. I think it will, because I think
Because they'll blame
it'll
the
become
NRA.
it'll become a platform for.
It's now a platform.
But I do think when it comes to blaming, especially in the case of this child, there is a slight purpose to it, and that we want to teach a lesson that maybe because people have heard this story, they'll be more conscientious with their firearms and put them
Sure.
away, not keep them in the front seat of the car.
We don't
in
know
my
if
car,
he's in
and-
the front seat of the car.
And
well,
how many?
not
and-
keep them in the car, let's say. You're right.
and unsecured,
Well,
right? So how many people own guns, though, Susie? This is a good question, and don't really understand all of the law, because
Right.
I'm sure that this guy thought my gun's in my car. Maybe he
secure.
forgot to lock his car
Right.
and thought that maybe it would be secure somehow, but didn't realize that it actually has to be secure, not just in your glove box, not in the console. And who knows if the child
And I
found
don't
it
think
inside
it's
the glove box
supposed
or
to
the
be
console.
loaded in the car.
Right.
I think you have to, I don't think that gun should have been loaded. I think that's not, you don't carry it loaded in the car.
A loaded gun to church in the car.
I was just going to see if it said anything about it being
Yeah.
loaded.
Well, hey, churches aren't
What the
so
law said
safe
about that.
anymore either.